Welcome into the party, dear creatures. It's always an exciting time with Astra. The world, the community, everything just loves to poke and prod. And I think it's hilarious. But I don't know if you're aware, I don't know if you saw, I don't know if you attended last night's city council meeting. But hey, it was a hoot and a holler. That's for sure. I think just my appearance, just showing up, presenting at all, caused a bit of a ruckus. Clearly, I am intimidating, threatening, a bother, a weirdo, a freak, an abomination who should not be in the city of Port Huron, but I'm still here. So some people in the crowd had some things to say, not just about me, but about the community I come from, the community I am proudly a part of. And I think it's appropriate to give a social reaction to people like this. They put themselves publicly out there spreading their hateful opinions, so I'm here to give a little bit of a reaction because these people won't have a conversation with me, but I'm going to start one. I want to know what the rest of the public thinks about this. So let's begin, shall we?
This is kind of ironic because I was actually going to start out with telling you that you guys do work for us. We don't work for you guys. However, I've changed my entire approach because what I really want to talk about is the proclamation to recognize June as Gay Pride Month. I guess I don't understand the need for the recognition because gay pride has been recognized for decades. So I don't fully understand.
Right.
See, I think part of our problem in America is our pride, which is sinful in nature. And our egos as well. Everyone wants to be right. Everybody wants to be number one. But that's just my opinion. So I want to get into the duties of the council members. Number one, council members swear an oath to serve the public interest of all Port Huron residents.
That is correct. All residents.
So I asked, does this recognition represent all citizens and does it benefit the city as a whole?
She makes it sound as if proclamations or recognitions for specific groups of people have never been made at all by the city council. As far as I'm aware, specific groups of people or individuals have been recognized by the council repeatedly for a variety of reasons, most of them positive. So, is she just not paying attention, or does she just hate gay people? Guess we'll find out.
Council members should not advocate for special interest groups as your primary legal and ethical duty is to represent the entire community.
The entire community.
Does gay pride represent our Christian community?
There are indeed gay Christians. Those people must not matter, though, I guess.
Does this represent the people in our community that feel bullied and told we must accept the lifestyle of the LGBTQ plus community?
I love that she says she's being bullied into acceptance. Honey, you don't have to accept it, but you will respect it. I accept you for all that you are. I accept you for being a Christian, but this is not bullying. No one is forcing you to have to appease to the queer community. But hey, representation matters, especially for minority groups.
Most people, including myself, don't go to bed at night wondering what gay people are doing.
This comment is so funny to me. Clearly, it is something that is keeping her awake at night if she feels the need to come and preach about it in this way. I think, honey, you are having dreams about gay people. You're just tossing and turning all night because it bothers you so much just that we exist. That sucks for you.
We really don't. It's your life. Live it how you see fit. If the gay and trans community would stop trying to force their beliefs on people, you would have less opposition.
Baby, once again, I've stated this before. You want us to force it onto you. Nobody is shoving anything into your face or telling you, you have to be gay, you have to be trans. No one is forcing you to be a part of the queer community. We are simply existing. And that bothers you so much. Just showing up in my body, being my authentic self. You just want to eradicate queer and trans people. That is the message. Shut up and go away. We don't even want to see you, let alone recognize you.
We are not obligated to accept your lifestyle, just as you are not obligated to accept mine as a Christian.
You say that, but I think there is a level of broadband acceptance that everyone needs to have for the people around them. Nobody is perfect. There are some people that do awful, awful things in the world. But gay and trans people are not harming you. They are not physically, verbally, or emotionally a threat. And therefore, yes, you should have acceptance for your queer and trans humans, the people that exist around you. The same way we should all be accepting of people with Christian beliefs. I don't care what your background is. If it's religion, if it's gender and sex, if it's any form of your beliefs, be accepting. If you are not hurting another person, do what you want to do. Just don't cause pain unto others. That is what a true Christian believes. Love thy neighbor. Clearly, she is a false Christian, a false prophet. If she has to speak hate onto a group of people, directly targeting them, when they're not having any effect over her life. She is clearly so bothered by the recognition of Pride Month. She has nothing else to worry about. Why is this the problem that you have targeted to discuss at the city council? It bothers you so deeply, and it's honestly fucking hilarious. At this point, I'm really grateful that I bother you so much. I am living rent-free inside of your head, and that's hilarious.
We believe what you do in life is between you and God.
Yes, you are correct. What I do is between me and God, which means your mortal form should have no say over how I live my life.
Number 2, council members must disclose and abstain from voting on matters where they have a personal conflict of interest. So my question is did Miss Payton vote on the proclamation?
Yes, she did indeed vote, because she has a vote on every proclamation. And to be completely honest, the Pride Month recognition would not have been passed if she was the only vote on the board who was saying, yeah, let's recognize this. No, that's not how that works. She has one vote, one say in the matter, but there are multiple members on the council. There had to have been people who agreed and represented that and stood for it. I can name at least one other person. That would be the mayor. I don't know about the rest of them. But I know the mayor absolutely voted yes on the proclamation. She is a humanitarian. That is one thing I have picked up on her.
There's a special interest there. Also, did Ms. Payton misuse her position in representing a personal opinion as the official stance of the city of Port Huron? As the day of the recognition, she wore a t-shirt advocating for transgender rights.
Isn't everything kind of a matter of personal opinion? I mean, yes, they're using it to stand for the benefit of the city as a whole. Once again, that includes your queer and trans citizens, people who do take up space in the city. But she makes it sound like she wore a shirt that... Yes, trans rights. Clearly that is such a threat. I'm sorry. Should we not be advocating for the peace and safety and representation of people who are just a little bit different from you? Once again, not causing any harm. But do you have any idea how targeted and hated trans people are? We get killed all the time, murdered, just for being the person we are. I don't have to say or do anything. I don't even have to look at someone, and people come up to me all the time and threaten me and try to physically assault me and make disgusting comments about my gender, sexuality, the fact that they can't tell if I'm a boy or a girl, and it confuses them, and they take that as a threat. They don't understand, so therefore they demonize just my existence alone. So yes, trans rights do matter. We should advocate for minority groups. You are a cis white woman. You do not even recognize how privileged of a life you live.
Seems like a misrepresentation and a misuse of office or position. And I wonder, should an ethics investigation be initiated?
An ethics investigation? Yes, of course, because that's what we need to put our time, money, and energy to. Review the ethics of the board because they supported gay pride. Let's specifically target Barbara Payton because she stood up for something she believes in.
Number 3, favoritism. Securing unearned exception or advantage for oneself, family members, or specific other persons. And I'm not sure about this one, but I'll throw it out there anyways. Securing personal gain, knowingly using an official position or office to secure special privileges.
What does she think the special privileges are? It's not as if we really received anything as the queer community other than, hey, congrats on being who you are. We're happy you're alive. You should celebrate that. We did not receive money. We did not receive a building. We did not really get anything. So what exactly is the special privileges that the queer and trans community is receiving? I would really like to know that. What do you think is being handed out to us? I have yet to receive a check or a building in my name. But hey, maybe if we keep this up enough.
If we were to recognize April as Christian Awareness Month...
Oh my God, sorry, we're immediately pausing this again. Christian Awareness Month? Yes, because not enough people are aware of Christianity. Christianity is under threat, clearly. It's not as if the Pledge of Allegiance literally says one nation under God. But Christianity is something that needs to be recognized. Yup.
Would that be a misuse of office from a Christian member on the council?
Misuse of office from the Christian members on the council. To some extent, I think that's already happening. Do you understand how deeply uncomfortable it is for someone like me? At the beginning of every city council meeting, they give a prayer. They pray to God, they praise God, they bless our city under the name of God. It is deeply uncomfortable. It's kind of unsettling because we are not a Christian nation. We are not a Christian town, regardless of how many people actually live within that religion here. You are not supposed to combine your religion with your politics. There's a very clear line that is meant to be distinguished there. And you can best bet your ass that that is something I will additionally be addressing to council. Because I am a spiritualist. It is a huge part of the person I am. But have I ever once tried to force those beliefs onto someone else? Have I ever once looked at someone who comes from a different religious background and said, well, that goes against my beliefs, so therefore you're wrong. You should shut up and go away. No, because I respect other people. I respect their beliefs. They are allowed to practice any religion they want because this is supposed to be a free country. I think it is extremely inappropriate and disrespectful to everyone else in the city who does not practice under a Christian faith to have us say a prayer before the city council meetings. And the funny yet sad thing about the prayer, most of the time I respect what they're actually saying. They are saying blessings over the city. They are commending the city council members and the community for working together. The words itself are really beautiful and empowering, but they put God behind all of it. They bow down and say, "Thank you, God. Thank you to our Lord and Savior Jesus for protecting our people." You could say all of the empowering words over the city and the community and the council without combining God into that matter. It's disrespectful, it's alarming, and we need to see change. I absolutely will be speaking up about this in the future because I know I'm not the only one who feels that way. Will it also piss off the majority of the Christians in the city of Port Huron? Abso-fucking-lutely. Because they already feel targeted, clearly, regardless of how privileged they actually are. Let's continue.
Because we all know right now Christianity is under attack in this country. But let me be clear. I'm not here to bash the gay community at all.
I'm not here to bash the gay community. Do you hear a single word that is coming out of your mouth? I think these people need to talk to someone. They are so lost in the madness of hate in their hearts and minds that they don't even realize what the fuck they're saying. It's completely hypocritical, and this is how most of these people act. They will spew the most bullshit, hateful nonsense out of their mouths, and then say, well, I didn't mean it like that, or I'm not giving hate speech, or, anything to protect their words, regardless of how disgusting it actually is.
I don't care what you do with your life. It's none of my business. But again, if you stop making your life choices everyone's business, you'll have less opposition.
I love that she says she doesn't care and it's no one's business. But she does care and she's making it her business. Also, additionally saying that we would have less opposition from not shoving it in your face. It's not true. We will always face opposition. Queer and trans people are highly discriminated against, even in the broad year of 2026. This country, for whatever reason, cannot seem to get over the fact that people live just a little bit differently from them. They're confident and brave enough to explore the inner parts of who they are and their reality enough to stand in their truth. That is threatening to people who feel like they have to live in a bubble of conformity because they were never taught anything different. It's actually really sad.
I would say the majority doesn't care what you do as long as you are a good, decent person in society.
Majority doesn't care what you do as long as you're a good person in society. Hell, you would not believe how many people have told me that I am an extremely positive person to them, the community, and the world. As much as people slander me, my character, and hate on my name and everything I am, there are also the people who come up and say, hey, you're a fucking phenomenal person. Thank you for the optimism you put out into the world. I feel better knowing you exist. But me being a good person, regardless of how I show up, people still care very deeply about what I do and who I am. I don't have to make my sex life or my gender identity anyone's business, but other people, like this woman, love to be intrusive. Very intrusive. Zero boundaries, zero consideration for someone just existing, being happy, expressing love. And honestly, I think it's really funny that it bothers you so much. It gives me a good laugh. I go to sleep at night thinking about that. How much these people hate me and the fact that they can't do anything about it other than run their fucking mouths, which makes them look embarrassing. It makes them look like a fool. It is important to publicly shame people like this, especially if they're willing to get up, put their full name, face, and opinion on the line.
which most are. I know a ton of gay people. I was gay.
Sorry, when when she said this, I was in the back literally trying to not fucking lose my shit. I was gay. Thank you for openly telling the community that you love pussy, because that's not something you can necessarily go back on. Yes, people explore and develop and understand deeper parts of themselves as they grow and age and have new experiences. Gender and sexuality can be fluid. We are ever changing and developing people. Nobody is a stagnant creature. So yes, you can grow and change, but at the same time, do not deny your past experiences. If you prior had attraction to women, it's not as if that's something that just goes away. You clearly at one point in your life felt comfortable enough to explore that part of yourself, and something or someone along the way probably made you feel as if you were forced to conform into society. More than likely because trans and queer people, lesbians, are highly targeted individuals. And yet she'll look at Barbara Payton on the council and be like, nah. Miss Girl, you and her are way more alike than you would give credit for.
So I know a ton of gay people. I work with the gay people, all good people.
I work with gay people. They're all good people. Then why? Why are you hating on us so much? If we're all good people and you prior said that as long as you're a good person in society, it really shouldn't matter. Once again, just super hypocritical. You work alongside these people, you talk to them, you try to understand them, and yet you will still get up and preach hate about the people you are surrounded with. It's disgusting. Find something better to put your energy and time into. It is way more powerful to love the people around you than to look around at people who are slightly different and choose to not be accepting. Again, Christian, love thy neighbor. It's really not that hard. I feel bad for you.
Your time is up.
Are you serious?
Very serious.
Are you serious? Sorry, girl, it's not a TED Talk. You don't get 3 hours to spew garbage out of your mouth. If you want to create a public platform, I highly encourage you. I would love to watch your videos. I want to hear what you have to say. Actually, after she finished with her speech, I smiled at her, I waved at her, I was giving her a cheeky little grin. I even told her, we can be best friends. She did not seem happy about that. I will say, it was deeply disturbing to me to hear how many people clapped. In the video footage, it doesn't sound that loud. It sounds like maybe only a few people clapped, but a majority of the people in that crowd did clap for her speech, which was just a solid in-the-face reminder that we have so much work left to do. So much work. So many people in this town are fucking bigots who cannot get over themselves and their sad egos enough to even try to understand the queer and trans community. But yet, look at me. I exist in your town. Come up and have a real conversation with me. Maybe get to understand why I am the person I am. But none of these people will remove the hate in their hearts long enough to even recognize me as another person who's deserving of respect and acceptance. So to all of you fuckers who were clapping and applauding for this bigoted speech, I've got my eyes on you. Because I'm not going anywhere. I will continue to show up to city council meetings. You will see me all over this town, and what exactly are you going to do about it? Nothing.
Kathy Nugent?
Yes, I'm right there.
Let's hear from Kathy. I'm very excited. Thank you for speaking, Kathy. She has a lot to say.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Kathy. I also had started a different way tonight, but what I've seen tonight has changed my start as well, Your Honor.
I love that she says what I've seen tonight has changed what I want to talk about. She's talking about me because I was the first speaker of the night, and she does end up addressing me directly. And I, once again, just find it really humorous that me just existing, appearing this way is such a threat that they would choose to not talk about what they initially wanted to speak on and instead changed their opinion to resort back to hate. It's sad. It's very sad.
I would like to address, apparently, this council does not know the rules, which you keep citing. They start with an M. I'm not sure of them either. I will find out tomorrow. I'm going to go upstairs tomorrow. I'm going to find out the rules of these meetings, and I'm going to know when you guys break the rules from now on. This wearing with a t-shirt with this gay people here, that you have this little club, and we give them all this money.
Girl, where is the club with the money? I want in on that. I have not received a single dollar for being gay or trans. Additionally, I love that she says we have a club because there's only a few queer people that show up to city council. As far as I'm aware, clearly I don't know the backstory or lives of everyone there, but damn, I think actually Kathy should be the head of the club. We should invite her to party with us. Wouldn't that be a great time?
That is definitely not proper. Not appropriate. Very disheartening. Now, it's fine. We want to represent everybody. I got no problem. There are plenty of worthy citizens in this world that happen to be gay. The problem comes in when you now start to think I'm an animal, I'm a cat, I'm a dog, I'm an alien.
Thank you for directly calling me out. I love that I have your attention. I bother you so much, you just can't keep your eyes off of me, and you also can't keep my name out of your mouth. I'm so sorry it threatens you that I'm an otherworldly creature, but regardless of what you want to believe, I'm here to make positive change on this community and the world. If that threatens you, if you're upset that I'm a creature, well, there's not much you can do about it, so you're just going to have to live with it.
What are we supposed to do with these people? They need mental guidance. They need to have a conversation with someone that knows what they're doing. They're only hurting themselves by being delusional all the place. And how do you trust them with your money at a job? How do you trust them with your finances when they can't decide what sex they are in the morning when they wake up?
Is she insinuating that queer and trans people shouldn't be able to work a job? She literally says, how can they be trusted with money? I don't know where she thinks this money is coming from, but sorry, girl, I have bills to pay. I have things I need to buy. Should my employer just not give me my paycheck? And also, it's really funny. She does not know the reality of what it's like to try to be in the job market as a minority. I have been fired and have lost so many jobs from simply being who I am. The discrimination, the disgusting words, the comments, the bigotry I have faced in the workforce is disgusting and concerning, which is why I had prior address recommending that we create a Human Rights Commission in Port Huron. I additionally spoke on it at this council meeting. We have at-will employment, which means an employer can fire you for whatever reason and they can say whatever they want to say it was. But the truth is, most of these positions have discriminated against me very deeply. I don't know why they chose to hire me in the first place. Maybe they were just desperate for employees. But at the end of things, throughout the process of me being employed under them, they treated me like garbage, spoke down to me, belittled me, called me slurs, made obscure comments about my gender and sexuality, and were just overall extremely disrespectful to me in ways that I never ever saw being projected onto any of the other employees around me. People like me are targeted in the job field. So yeah, I guess don't trust me with money. Don't trust me to work a job. Believe what you want to believe. But I think it's also funny she says we can't decide what sex in the morning, believing we are. Well, Girl, you woke up today and decided, I hate people that are different from me. Let me stand in front of a huge community and say, I don't support people like that. They're disgusting. They don't deserve to work. Go away. I feel bad for you. Your heart must be in agony. You must live a sad, miserable life where you feel like nothing ever works out for you. You must hate yourself so much. You must be deeply insecure and live a sad, sad life. If this is what you spend your time doing, if this is what you think about, get over yourself. You will never understand what it is like to live as somebody like me. You could not survive a single fucking day in my shoes. I would love to swap bodies with you and have you walk around the streets of Port Huron and just see, bear witness to the mistreatment that is thrown at me every single day. I cannot avoid it. Even when I do not show up as my public persona, just existing like this, no makeup, no fancy attire, no performance atmosphere to me, I am still targeted. I am still belittled. I am still the victim of violence. You will never know what that is like. So yes, get over yourself.
It's ridiculous. And now they don't stand for the flag. They won't stand for pledges of allegiance.
Yes, you are correct. I do not stand for the flag. I do not stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I do not stand during the prayer because those are my beliefs. I have that freedom. I am not required to do that. I have not stood for the Pledge of Allegiance since I was probably in 5th grade because I knew that far back how disgusting this country is within how it operates. I do not have full freedoms. So many of my stories and experiences have not been brought to justice. I do not have the same equality and rights as she does. We are in a room full of people, yet standing for the pledge and the prayer, you had your eyes on me. You weren't focused on praising your country or bowing down to your God. No, you had your eyes on me and you were sitting there questioning, well, why aren't they supporting what I support? That makes them a bad person. Yeah, sure, label me as that, but this country is a fucking mess right now. Are you proud? You shouldn't be. There's a lot of fucking work that needs to be done, and I don't see you doing anything to help that. You're speaking hate against people that don't do anything to you. We're not harming you or threatening you in any way, yet you are so bothered. It's amazing. And there were other people there that night who, as far as I'm aware, did not appear to be queer or trans. I don't know their story. They could be. But they also did not stand for the Pledge of Allegiance or the prayer. So why are you targeting just the queer people that don't instead of everyone in the council who did not stand? That's what I want to know.
Why would they come in here crying about needing special laws? We have laws already that cover everybody.
I'm exhausted. Creating special laws, we're not talking about writing legislation or enacting an ordinance. No, creating a human rights commission. It is both of benefit to the city and the citizens. It is not intended just for the queer community. It is to help all minority groups, people of color, people with disability, and yes, the LGBTQ community. Because who else are we supposed to turn to? One of the police officers, I think it was the chief, actually stood up and spoke about how they now have a social worker who rides in on mental health calls where the police are not meant to be of assistance, but a social worker does a phenomenal job at assisting in those matters. And a human rights commission would be of high benefit to the minority populations that live in this city, so they can actually create proper claims of discrimination and have housing or employment issues be addressed properly, so the right types of people can be held accountable and minority groups can receive justice. But you're not even paying attention to a single fucking word that's coming out of my mouth. You won't take 3 seconds to sit down at home and educate yourself on what I'm even bringing to the forefront. You don't care. You just want to speak about something you have no knowledge on because it doesn't affect you. You're not a minority, but you're not going to just erase us. And I will continue to keep fighting for equality, representation, and accountability for the people who discriminate against us and target us. Those people do need to be put in their place.
And how dare you disparage my police chief and my police department? Oh, I need a special law because I'm gay. No, we have proper laws that cover everybody already.
A special law because I'm gay. We have laws that cover everybody. So you're telling me that every additional law or ordinance or support for individual groups just shouldn't be allowed? Let's use disability, for example. ADA laws that should not be enacted or put in place to assist people who need additional help and support. The government should just turn their backs on those people and say, well, you're the same as everybody, just figure it out on your own. We're not going to help you. No, because the government is there to support everybody, that includes the people that you don't like or want to accept.
We don't need any special laws. You're a citizen. If you get murdered it's a hate crime for everybody, not just because you're gay. If you get murdered because you're a man or a woman, if you're not gay, is it not a hate crime? Of course it is.
This is so amusing because it just shows me how lost in the sauce you are, how extremely uneducated you are, how you have not attempted to expand your worldview whatsoever because you are confined to the tiny, undiversified town of Port Huron. You would feel so threatened if you went to a city like Ann Arbor, Detroit, Chicago, New York City. You would not survive out there. But you feel comfortable because you're in Port Huron, speaking up about such bullshit because you think your opinion matters. I'm here to tell you it actually fucking doesn't. Say what you want to say about me just now saying that, but bitch, your opinion doesn't matter because you're speaking from a place of uneducated hatred. You have no fucking idea what you're talking about. It's very obvious for anyone who has a sound mind and an empathetic heart that you are just so lost and angry. And I guarantee it's not because of gay people. You're angry about something else deep inside, and you're taking it out on other people that you deem as a threat because it makes you uncomfortable to accept that you're not the only person that exists in the world. It's a sad, lonely, insecure, miserable life that you live. I wish you the best. I wish you healing. I also hope that you are surrounded by gay and trans people who continue to put you in your place. I hope all of the queer community looks at you and realizes how much of a sad fucking bigot you are and says straight to your face, you're disgusting. You need a change of opinion. Are you saying you don't care about people like me? Because these two women show up to every city council meeting. And they are saying that they're surrounded by gay people and they love them. But if these gay people actually knew what lived inside of their hearts, it would be a much different story, I assure you. I guarantee neither of these women will say to the gay people around them what they're willing to get up and say on the mic at the city council meetings. But this is public. Your name, your face, your words are now exposed to everyone around you. And regardless of how much applause you get at the end of your speeches, I can guarantee there is a large majority of the community who is looking at you right now and sending you the darkest level of evil eye imaginable, regardless of if you believe in energy transference or not, since you're such a strong-willed Christian. Trust and believe that karma for people like you always comes back around. You cannot just live from a place of hate and think that you're gonna live a perfect, positive, happy life. And you're much older already, and you're probably going to die sooner than I will. And you will die on your deathbed, alone, miserable, sad, with a hate-filled heart. And what kind of a life is that to live? It is a much more beautiful experience to go around to your community, to talk to people who are different from you, to get to know their lived stories. It's beautiful. The diversity, the nature of everyone combined is what makes us a collective whole. That feeling of love is one of the most powerful expressions for humans. But you don't want to take part in that. You would rather live in your bubble of comfort and conformity than to look at someone like me and say, hey, we should have a talk. I want to know more about you. I'm curious. Why are you trans? Why are you queer? Why are you living the life you live? Tell me more about it. Operating from a place of genuine curiosity instead of deliberate fear. Because these people are just afraid of something they don't fully understand, which is why they feel threatened by it. And I'm sorry, I just went on a tangent there. We're supposed to be talking about hate crimes. The sadistic abuse, torture, and torment that the queer community goes through and has gone through for centuries is disgusting. This once again proves to me how uneducated you are on the reality of humanity, especially in the United States. Straight people are not killed on the basis of being straight. If a man or a woman or whoever is killed, it just randomly or for a targeted reason, it is not because of their gender or sexuality. It is for a different reason. There are people out there who are cruel and disturbed enough and bothered so deeply by the LGBTQ community that they are willing to take someone's life just because they're transgender, just because they're queer, just because of how they express themselves or how they choose to love. That is the difference between a regular murder or act of violence versus a hate crime. It is a targeted mission to destroy or murder someone on the basis of their gender or sexuality. That person, the killer, the tormentor, doesn't have to know anything else about the person. They just look at them, or they know that they're queer or trans, and they say, well, that person doesn't deserve to live. I'm angry and disgusting enough inside that I'm going to harm them. I'm going to take their life away because it's a sin or an abomination, or I don't support and believe them. So therefore, yes, take their life away. Beat them to death. Put them in the hospital because I don't like the way you live. This has been happening for centuries now. And it is 2026 and we are still seeing it. It is no different than saying, well, the concept between white people and black people or Hispanic people of color in general. It is like saying, oh, them being killed and slaughtered because they're black. That's not a hate crime. How about you study the dark reality of what took place in this world? What is taking place all around us? You would see hate crimes are highly prevalent, especially here in America. We still have black people being lynched in trees across this nation. I just heard a story of a gay man who was tied to the back of a truck and dragged for 100 miles to the point his body was basically pieces of meat. And what was the basis of these people doing this? Because he was gay. Because he walked down the street holding hands with his partner. You cannot even imagine what it is like to go through something like that. You would not imagine or be able to face the truth of what it is like to exist as somebody like me. I leave my house every single day with a pit of deep anxiety in my stomach and a racing heart and a scared mind every single time I leave my house, because people treat me different, because so many people operate with bigotry and hate in their hearts, and lots of people don't care if they resort to violence. My life could be taken away in an instant, and I don't have to do fucking anything. I don't have to say or do or look at any of these people, and they could murder me or torture me simply for being queer or trans. That is a hate crime. You as a cis white woman will never understand how frightening my existence is. Let's continue.
It's ridiculous that they come in here disparaging everybody. Oh, I need a special law. We're done with that. I don't think you guys represent as many of us people as you think you do. There's no patriotic pride in this town. There's no red, white, and blue anywhere. You have definitely become the Democratic machine, and I'm ashamed of it.
This is just so funny to me because she doesn't understand how many Christian Republicans sit on the city council. She doesn't. Clearly, she has no idea who the city council members actually are, their life stories, or what they represent. And I know this because every single time I get up to speak at city council, I see a majority of them look at me like I'm the biggest fucking freak imaginable. The disrespect in their eyes is highly prevalent. They do not accept or tolerate people like me. Would they rather I don't get up on the podium and speak? Yes. Does that mean I'm gonna go away? Fuck no. But yes, they are here to represent everybody, and they are still saying the prayer at the beginning of the meetings. They still hold their Christian beliefs. They still vote Republican. They vote for hate. They do not accept people like me. Will they even go to the extent of actually creating a human rights commission? The truth of the matter, probably fucking not. But you know what it does do? Me getting up and speaking at council and representing my community? My voice, my opinion, my perspective, it matters. It makes a difference. Because it gets other people who hold similar beliefs to actually sit back and think, wow, yeah, we do need change like that here. Maybe it will encourage other people within the community to get up to council and say, hey, I back what this person said. I've gone through some pretty stern discrimination, or I've seen other people face discrimination in this town. Maybe we should build a commission like that. It would be highly beneficial. And if no one else is going to back me behind that, well then, hey, maybe to the other people in the LGBTQ community who see my city council videos, at the very least, they will feel less alone. They will look at someone like me who is fighting for sustainable justice and say, hey, I'm not alone in this. I'm not alone in this town. They make me feel a little more supported. Thank you for the work that you are doing. Thank you for fighting and trying and using your voice. Especially to the queer folks that are younger than me, I think about them I think about the young folks in this town who are growing up in a world full of discrimination and hate. The people that are still in middle school and high school, or who are blooming into their early 20s and are trying to get their own homes, to live within a sustainable job. And it's not easy. It's not fucking easy at all. And I want better. I want better. And once again, that does not just include queer and trans people. That includes all minority groups, which I know people like you would rather just not be in this town at all, because you live within a whitewashed, conservative perspective. You don't think anyone that's different from you deserves to be within society. And I know that because I've seen a lot of my hate comments, and all of them want people like me to shut up, go away, and be put into the dirt of this earth.
It's not proper at all. You no longer represent everybody, and it's disheartening. Now we see that you can't even get amongst yourselves. You are definitely the Democratic machine.
The Democratic machine? Miss Girl, you don't understand who you're actually speaking to. I will say, again, a lot of the people sitting on the board are conservative Christians. So you saying this to them, they're probably with a question mark over their head like, who are you talking to?
Definitely. And I agree in proper ways we have, because other people have spoken. And I agree that you're in trouble, and you're already in trouble, and things have already happened. So you can do what you want. It's already a matter of record, and files are being made. And that's all I can say. Now, my friend here, she has a lot to say about this going on around here. She used to be gay. She's not gay anymore. It just shows it's a matter of mind. It's not a situation. You have chosen to be this way. Now, again, most of us don't care.
Point of order.
Point of order.
Point of order. What does that mean?
Okay, it means that she has an objection.
Thank you, Barbara.
Okay, and
I
we
appreciate
are-
you.
Your First Amendment rights will be carried out here because they're part of the Constitution here. But you have to talk to all the council.
I am speaking to all of them. I don't know who's gay and who's not. I know she is because she makes it known.
Well, don't, well, just.
I started speaking to you, Your Honor, and I will look at everybody that I want to look at.
Yeah, we just.
I have rights too.
Yeah, that's what I just told you. You have your First Amendment rights. That's how come I'm sitting here and we're listening to you.
Yeah, you guys are the Democratic machine. You are not representing everybody in this town anymore, and we have had it. We are going to change things around here with our votes and with our attitude and with our determination. And you can all count on that. Thank you.
Okay, and thank you.
Thank you.
I did indeed boo both of these people after they gave their speech. Let's hear what Mayor Ashford has to say about that.
Please, we're respecting you, and we would like that same amount of respect. And if you do get out of any order, I will instruct our police officers to remove you from the chambers. We're not kids here, we're adults. And we need to respect one another. That's all we're asking. A lot of times you wonder why we don't interrupt. Because of First Amendment right. That's what we're here for, to listen. We work for you. I think somebody said that we work for you. But we are people, we're human beings, and we respect you, and we want that back.
So when Mayor Ashford was saying this, yes, she was addressing the full meeting, but I was sitting in the middle row and I could see that she was making direct eye contact with me. She was politely asking me to be more respectful of the First Amendment rights. So after the meeting, I did indeed go up to Mayor Ashford and I apologized. I said that it was with no disrespect to her or the council. However, I felt as though if people are allowed to applaud and clap after someone speaking at the podium, I felt it was only acceptable for me to be able to boo. If people are allowed to give a positive reaction to what someone says, I should be allowed to give a negative reaction as well. She responded and, basically said that a positive remark after a speech goes way strongly compared to giving a negative comment. And I said, I think that's just a difference of opinion. I believe people who speak from a place of hate deserve to be shamed publicly for that. No change will occur unless these people feel embarrassed and mortified by their beliefs and values. They need to change. They need to do better. I was very respectful towards the mayor. I complimented her work. I said I appreciated how she shows up in council. I commended her. I was very happy to speak with her. She has always been very kind and accepting towards me. And we came to the conclusion, yes, it is just a difference of opinion. I was not trying to be disrespectful to the council, but yes, I do feel it is appropriate if people are allowed to clap, I should equally be allowed to boo. Okay, now that we've gotten through the majority of the messy bits, we are following up with our third speaker, who thankfully was in support towards the LGBTQ community. He stood up for what he believed in, so let's hear what he has to say.
Craig?
Well, I guess I'll keep the theme. I had no idea it was going to be a gay night.
Gay night!
First and foremost, it wasn't that long ago that it was illegal to serve your country and be gay. And that's ridiculous that ever existed. So people who are trying to hold down gay people are fucking sick. I don't care.
I love you.
You're sick. You can't sit here and tell me that people have served this country, died for this country, and they're gay or they're whatever. You sure as hell are.
Hold on. Who is that? Would you please remove
This country has held people down. This nation is held. Yes, ma'am.
Please, hold it. Okay, talk to her. Let me get this straight, because we're having a meeting. It's not a free-for-all. You okay, Chief? Is it okay? All right, thank you. You may continue.
I just want to say, this response from, what was her name, Kathy, proves to me once again, she has no respect whatsoever. This man got up, he has 4 minutes to speak, and she decided his opinion doesn't matter. My voice is more important than his. Actually, I'm going to speak up and interject during his allotted time because I feel my opinion is more important. It's extremely disrespectful and is childish. She's a grown-ass woman. Clearly, she has no idea how to shut her mouth during a council meeting. And Mayor Ashford called the chief over to speak with her. Was she removed from the building? No, she was not removed.
Thank you, Mayor. I will not allow people to be destroyed on my country. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're anything. You can celebrate anything you want as long as you don't hurt anyone. That's it.
That exactly. It's not like we're harming these people, yet they love to say we're shoving it down their throats, we're putting it on them. I'm not hurting you. You just feel insecure and threatened that I am more confident being my authentic self than you feel comfortable to ever explore. These people are decades older than me, and yet they still feel threatened by my existence. It's incredible. I love it. I love that they are so bothered. They have to give me their time and energy. I'ma keep doing what I'm doing because I know it's pissing so many people off. And hey, I've said it before, I'll say it again. If you want me to be the villain and the enemy, I will happily play that role. But you're not going to be happy about it, because until you decide to murder me as a hate crime, kill me, take me out of this earth, I'm not going to shut up. I'm not going to go away. And I will continue to loudly and proudly fight for what I believe in and my fair, equal rights, as well as the equal rights for everyone else around me. We are meant to be on an equal playing field. But you live a much more privileged and self-centered life than I will ever have the capability to experience. Take that in for a second.
Anything that attacks bringing knowledge and not making the same mistakes that we made before and saying, hey, history doesn't necessarily repeat itself, but it sure as hell rhymes. And if we're going to sit here and say, oh, we're going to take away your gay pride, that's stupid. Let them enjoy. Have fun. Heaven forbid that they want to have something that they enjoy. Stay out of it. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comments.
I really, really, really appreciate you as a man, a cis white man, getting up on the podium and protecting us, protecting me. You don't even know how much that means to me and the rest of the community. Using your voice, your privileged voice, for the betterment, for the protection of such minority groups is so important and powerful, because we need allies, strong allies who are willing to have our backs, even if you don't fully understand or accept us. It seems like this guy does. I appreciate you, but this is more of what we need. We need more allies, people who do live a life of privilege to some extent, to have our backs as we face such targeted violence and hate speech. I find this extremely commendable. It makes me hold a huge level of respect for you. It makes me want to sit down and have a conversation with you, a real conversation. This is how we see positive change and growth. Because someone like me getting up to speak at council and saying, hey, well, I want a human rights commission. Of course, the public is going to say, well, that's just selfish. Why are you trying to force that on us? Blah, blah, blah. But if people who aren't part of the queer community get up in support for creating equality, equal laws, and guidance in this city, if we get more backing from people who are outside of the community, who people just want sustainable equality for all, that is a big way we will see change. And I need more people who are willing to help me. If you're watching this and you're an ally, you're outside of the community, hell, even if you are in the community, I need you here. I need to talk with you. I need your support. I need you to help have my back and the back of all the minorities that live in this city. Please reach out to me. Please go to the city council meetings and speak. Please support and encourage us as we fight for justice. I think my biggest takeaway from this meeting, it is once again a reminder of how much work we have to do, how much work I have to do. The fact that I have to keep showing up regardless of how disheartening the reality of such hate actually is. It is a heavy weight to wear on my shoulders to know all I have to do is get up and speak at council, and people are going to be threatened by that. People will speak hate over that. That's been proven to me ridiculously over the last few months, posting my city council videos, seeing how the board members on the council respond to me, how they look at me, how they speak to me. I know that none of them want to listen to what I say. I guarantee they're not actually taking what I'm saying into consideration. Will the council make amendments on any of the issues I brought to light? Probably fucking not. And I understand the reality of that. But that's part of why I share my videos on social media, is because it gets out to a larger audience. It gets out past the council and the people within these meetings. It gets out to the whole community. And even if there are hundreds and hundreds of hate comments on those videos, people like that love to be the loudest in the room. But there are supporters. There are people that are coming up to me on the streets and saying, I see what you're doing. You're making a difference. Keep fighting for what you believe in. I support you. And those people, the ones who are watching from the sidelines, who may not be liking, commenting, sharing those videos, having your support and backing means a lot, but I need you to start using your voice and your privilege in a bigger way, because people like me who appear and present and operate differently, it's easy for these Christian conservative white people that sit on the board to say, well, this is just another freak of nature who's trying to be a dramatic person and just speak whatever the fuck they want to, fighting for garbage opinions, whatever they think. It's easy for them to blow people like me off because they view me as less than. But if the average, I'm using heavy quotations on this, if the average citizen within the community was willing to come into the council meetings and fight, to use their voice, to back the issues I am bringing to the forefront, that is how actual change will occur. Trust me, I appreciate your compliments and behind the scenes support, but we need to see positive, productive, equal change within this community. It is long overdue. Trust me, I would love to move to a bigger, more diverse city like Chicago, Detroit, New York City, and yes, within the next few years, I will. I will not be in Port Huron for much, much longer. But while I'm here, I want justice. I want equality. I want to leave this city better than it was before I dip out of here. And I can't be the only one who is standing alone in trying to make that change. What's even more humorous to me, looking at the rest of the queer community, the other trans people in this city, they're not showing up. They're not using their voice. They're not backing a single thing I'm saying. But yet, have I heard the harsh realities of what they've faced, especially in this town? Yes, I've heard their stories. Maybe they're afraid. Maybe they don't feel confident enough to get up and share how they actually feel or what they want to fight for. But I'm asking you from the bottom of my heart, consider it. Think about it. Actually sit down and maybe write out what you want to see done, what changes you want to occur, how you can help protect the rest of the minority populations that live in this town. Because we're not alone. We don't operate alone. I stand very independently. I do not take in opinions and judgments of anyone around me. I curate my own speeches. I curate my own ideas. I could be the leader at the forefront of all of this, but I need support. I need backing. I need more people in the community to show up and fight. Now is the time more than ever because people like me are making massive waves. I don't have to do that much for the rest of these privileged people within the community to say, this fucking freak is threatening. Get them out of here. Why are they even showing up and speaking about anything? And it is intolerable. We need better. We deserve better. So please, join the alliance, join the fight with me, reach out to me and send me a message. We need to collaborate. We need to work together. And I mean, the Human Rights Commission is only one thing I have spoken up about. Every single meeting, I keep bringing additional issues to the forefront. Have I heard a single word back from any of the city council members? No. And I know that there are a lot of citizens who are facing the same reality, getting zero response from the council. But that is why we have to put pressure on them. Lots of pressure. In closing, thank you for making it this far. Thank you for going through this bigoted experience with me and learning a little bit more, speaking on such matters, because this is only the beginning. This is only the beginning. There is so much work that needs to be done. My full takeaway is that the LGBTQ community deserves so much better than this. So much better. And I am here to support you. I am here to fight for equal rights. It's a huge part of what I am studying in school. Minority relations, ethics, psychology, social work, political science. I'm studying all of it because I am a loud advocate. I'm speaking locally right now because this is the beginning. But I will be taking it to a statewide and national level. So I would love to have your backing. I would love to have your support. I would love to sit down and collaborate with lots of different people within my community. It's a reminder that you are not alone. We are working together. Even if we are very different people, we come from different backgrounds. If we have similar beliefs, similar things we want to fight for, we can work together to create better for this city. Everyone has to start somewhere. And yes, I have a physical body. I get very physically worked up every single time before I go to speak at the council. I feel anxious, I feel nauseous, I'm sweating profusely, I'm frightened. Because I know the type of backlash I will receive from presenting how I do, speaking my voice, sharing what I believe in. But it's not going to stop me. It's not going to discourage me because I know how these types of people think and feel and how they operate, and it is sad. I am happy. I am proud of the person I am. I have put in so much time and hard work into becoming the best version of myself, and I am continuously growing. I continue to push myself out of my comfort zone for the betterment of my life and everyone around me, especially those that face consistent belittlement and discrimination. Even amongst all the chaos, I am excited for what the future holds. It's going to be a long-standing, difficult battle. But we can't give up. We have to keep showing up, fighting, using our voices, and standing for justice and betterment of all. Are you with me?